Okay, let's talk about the foundations of brain performance. And it really comes down to three categories: self, experiences, and environment. So today we're going to be delving into the fascinating world of brain performance and the foundations of brain performance. So I want to talk you through some different factors, both micro and macro, and how they contribute to you achieving better brain performance. So let's get right into it. Now, I want to ask you a question here. And the question is, have you ever actually thought about your brain performance? And have you ever actually thought about how our brain performance is influenced by different factors, both micro and macro factors? And I want you just to take a quick second just to have a think. What are some of the factors that you think impact your brain performance? Now, to unravel this mystery, I'm going to start with the micro factors. And when we talk about micro factors, I'm talking about things like neurochemistry. And you can think of your neurochemistry as the tiny, tiny little building blocks that shape our brain's function, and they shape the way that we think and feel and act. And we call this a chemical soup. And just like individual ingredients come together to create that delicious meal and that delicious soup, these neurochemicals, which we know some of these, dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin, they all come together to make this chemical soup that plays a really crucial role in regulating your mood, your motivation, and your overall abilities. So if you don't have the right ingredients, you're not going to get the right outcome. So that's the micro factors, and that's what we mean when we talk about self. What are those things that you're doing that are in your control to be able to make that right makeup on a very, very micro self-focused level to get the outcomes that you want? Now, let's shift our focus to the macro factors. Now, have you ever noticed how your brain responds differently in different social situations? You're a different person at work, I guarantee, than what you are when you go and catch up with your friends and your buddies from primary school and high school. We revert to different states, and our brain responds differently in different social situations. And we use social neuroscience to dig into this. And that really explores the impact of social interactions. And this is what we mean when we're talking about experiences. What are those social interactions? What are those relationships? What are those societal factors that are affecting our brain function and that are coming into play with our brain function? And this is really important because humans, we are inherently social beings. We have our brains hardwired to thrive in social environments. So just like the dance floor at the nightclubs that we used to go to, you might still go to them. These are all filled with these really enthusiastic people dancing on the dance floor. That's what our brain wants. Our brain flourishes in a socially engaging and a supportive setting. We want to get out there on the dance floor with them as well. But here's the exciting part. Our brain performance is not solely determined by these micro and macro factors. We know that they're really, really important, but it's the intricate interplay between self and between experiences and between environment that really shapes our brain's capabilities. So imagine all of these factors as different gears in a well-oiled machine. Now, when they work harmoniously together, the machine functions smoothly and efficiently. Now, similarly, when our self and when our experiences and when our environment align, this is when our brain reaches its peak as well. Now, our thoughts and our emotions often play a really crucial role in this equation. Even things like your mood has a really big effect on your ability to focus and to think creatively as well. If you're in a bad mood and you've got to go and do some work that requires a lot of focus, it's a little bit harder as well. And our thoughts and our emotion have a direct impact on our brain's performance. Now, positive thoughts and positive emotions actually unlock your brain's potential. They enhance our cognitive abilities and they boost our productivity. Now, the opposite is true for negative thoughts. So negative thoughts and negative emotions create roadblocks and they hinder our brain's optimal functioning. So we want to do these things to get ourselves in this right positive frame of mind. And it's not just our internal world that we need to worry about. It's not just our internal world that shapes our brain performance either. External factors like our physical environment play a significant role. And think of your physical environment as the stage on which your brain performs. So just like a well-designed theatre, it's got to have great acoustics. It's got to have great lighting. It's got to have all of these things that is going to enhance your performance. And it's going to create that positive and that conducive environment to elevate your brain's performance and to let it put on the best show of its life. Now, this could be as simple as organizing and decluttering your workspace, both digitally and physically, or it could be also about looking at things like your noise and your lighting and what's happening around you, or it could be incorporating elements that promote relaxation and that promote focus using these neuroscientific principles. So how can we cultivate a positive and conducive environment for optimal brain functioning? Well, it all starts with being intentional about our surroundings. Pay attention to the elements that impact your brain performance. Is your workspace cluttered? Is it chaotic, or is it organized, and is it serene? Do you have access to natural light and fresh air, or are you in a dim and stuffy room? You need to be able to take some small steps to create that environment that supports your brain's performance. So surround yourself with inspiring visuals, incorporate plants for a touch of nature and a bit of greenery, and ensure that your workspace is well lit and free from distractions. So these seemingly minor adjustments can have a really significant impact on your brain's ability to focus, on your brain's ability to think and to perform as its best. So remember that achieving brain performance, it's not just a solitary endeavor. It's the result of a dynamic interplay between ourself, which is about what we're eating and how we're sleeping and how we're treating ourselves and our thoughts and our mood. It's about our experiences, past, future, present, the culture that we work in, the leaders that we follow. It's about our environment, the physical, the digital, and it's about bringing that all together, embracing the power of neurochemistry, social neuroscience, being mindful of our thoughts, our emotion, and also the external factors and how they influence your brain's capability. And we are going to go into more detail about all of these things very soon, but they're the things that you need to think about. So start thinking, how can you create a positive and conducive environment that supports your brain performance so that you can unlock your full brilliance? What are those things that you've got control of in yourself, in your experiences, and in your environment? And how can you optimize those to make the environment the most best possible environment that you can have for your own success? Bye now.